All right, good morning, everybody. We're in Stormville, New York. I'm going out for an 11-mile run this morning. It's pretty early. Just want to make sure to beat the heat. It's pretty much the only thing I'm trying to do every weekend for a long run in the summer, getting ready for a fall marathon, is get out before it's too hot. It's probably going to be in the 90s again today. It's really humid. It's actually really foggy out as well right now, so we can't see too far in front of us, but we're out on the Hudson Rail Trail, a different section than we've been on before, starting in Stormville versus Hopewell Junction Depot or some of the other spots that we've started before. Going out for 11 miles. Did a lot of hydrating last night in anticipation of it being kind of humid today and sweating a lot. I don't have water or anything with me yet for this distance. I don't think it'll be long enough that I need it. But I definitely have some gels and things that I'm ordering as the marathon and New York City Marathon training block continues and the runs get longer and longer. I have my backpack ready, the same one I was using for Mount Marcy last weekend or 2 weekends ago. So that works. Just need gels and stuff to go along with it as the runs get longer and longer. But we're getting ready. We'll go outside. Nice 11-mile run. Again, just foggy, warm, humid, but not too bad yet since it's early out. So we'll get ready to go. And then when we get back, we'll have some hydration. Hopefully this hydration will be enough, get us home, and then we'll have some breakfast and some more water and everything. But for now, just going to go out for a run. All right, so you can see it's pretty foggy out today. I've got my Saucony Endorphin Speeds on, and yeah, let's do it. The nice thing I said before about the rail trail is pretty much anywhere between New York City and Canada, you can find a portion of the trail not too far, as long as you're along the east side of New York, along Vermont and Massachusetts, or I guess it goes right through the middle as you go west through New York. Most of it's kind of off-road if you look down here, so it's kind of like pedestrian trails all the way in here where we live, luckily. And it does get to be a little bit more of some shared roads up top. Looks like a lot more of just pedestrian-only pathways as you go west in New York. So Hudson Valley Trail, Empire State Trail, it's the place to be for long runs for me this year as I get ready for training for the New York City Marathon. So it's a little funny because it's definitely hot and humid out. We're not even halfway through the run just yet, but you can see it's starting to clear up. I think the sun's starting to burn off some of the morning fog, and it's hard to tell. It's a shaded pathway, so can't tell if really going out early when it was more foggy and humid was worse than if I let the sun burn off some of the humidity and fog. But it's definitely a nice trail. You can see it's just completely pedestrian only. You can actually hear some chickens up there at a house. So yeah, nice place to run. That said, we'll keep going, and yeah, hopefully I can stay cool. I'm starting to sweat a lot. Okay, as I start to move again, I think it's definitely actually feeling cooler in the shade with less humidity. So I guess going out early wasn't the answer today. You can't really have a perfect option either way, but feeling better now. So I said before I'm only doing 11 miles, and my turnaround point was probably like right there. And I knew there was kind of a lake coming up. I thought I had to do a 12-mile run to get to it, but I'm glad I came around the corner because here it is. And it's a really nice morning to see the lake. There's better views that way, so after I go for a 12-mile run, you know, we'll get a whole bunch of shots along the lake. But There's some ducks going by. And yeah, just a nice halfway point and turnaround. So we'll keep going. I don't want to stop too long. I want to keep running. So just glad that I came around this corner here. And yeah, more to come when we go for the full 12 miles or more. But yeah, we'll have more views of the lake. So it's nice. All right, let's go. Also, just another side note, like I said 3 times already, it's definitely cooler now, so I guess early wasn't the best choice for today. Really starting to get into testing the breathability of these shoes, but I don't think there's any shoe who can keep up with this from this morning. And now they're just wet shoes, all the sweat dripping down my legs and everything. It's a humid day, but you know, your shoes just start to fill with sweat. It's hard to do anything about it, but hey, it tests them out nonetheless. Push it to the limits. Cool little detour for the Appalachian Trail, but not what we're doing today. So we'll keep going. Whew. All right, I stopped right in the car to get some air conditioning. It definitely was just, you know, a sweaty day overall. It definitely cooled off somehow as the morning went on. Like by 7 a.m., the fog all kind of went away. Maybe there was more of a breeze. The sun kind of burned off the humidity a little bit, and it felt better for a while. Just felt better, but it still was hot. I'm really sweaty. My shoes got kind of soaked, but we got it done. 11 miles. I didn't realize it was all like uphill very gradually on the way out, and then, you know, slightly downhill on the way back. So I was wondering why I was going a little bit slow on the way out, trying to keep my heart rate around 140. And you know, I think I made the right choice just leaving the water behind for this. No gel. I tend to use a water pack, like a Camelback backpack. I'm just used to it. When I did the 60K, I was training and running a lot of miles, and I used the water pack. I don't like the fuel belts. I don't like the idea of it bouncing up and down on your hips. And I don't really like carrying a water bottle either. So I just go with the hydration backpack, and today wasn't necessary. I think it was just on the border of what I would have wanted to bring some water and some gels. So I'm just drinking some actually Pedialyte now, just to kind of get some fluids back in me, and then we'll drive home in just a sec and get some breakfast. I kind of hinted at it, but this is like the first official long run of my New York City Marathon training block that's actually like on my calendar. So I scheduled everything from the beginning of this week. I started doing some shorter runs, a couple things on the track. On Thursday I did kind of a tempo run. I have 3 20-mile runs scheduled in a couple of months as the mileage builds up, as well as kind of a half marathon thrown in there. I think after the first 20 miler, just to change it up and kind of check your fitness and throw some tempo work in there, or, you know, kind of running at race pace for an extended distance. So we'll get to there. I'll break it down tomorrow. But for now, let's go home. I want to eat. Maybe we'll get something from the diner. And yeah, just feeling good. Happy that it's over because it's a hot one. So now that we're cleaned up, washed up from our run, we ended up eating breakfast. I just took a few shots of the food. It was really good. We go to this place, Red Line Diner, or get food delivered from Red Line Diner. I had some pancakes, bacon, egg, and cheese. And yeah, I just like to eat some good food after I go for a long run. So our shoes here, took out the endorphin speeds today. They're soaking wet, just from sweat. It wasn't even raining outside. It was foggy, humid, and all my sweat was dripping down in here. So just trying to dry those off right now. But yeah, otherwise it was really good. We got it done. Keep reminding myself, and it's important, I think, that everyone remembers, like, as we go into the summer, even though it's been, it's July already, but it has really just started to be 90 degrees and humid, at least where I am in New York. So it took a while. It definitely is later in the season or later in the summer, but it's finally hitting, and all the paces and everything have to kind of adjust down to kind of fit the heat and humidity, and you're not going to be as fast as when you're in the spring or in the cooler weather in the winter. So, it is what it is, and it's just that adjusting, getting used to that temperature, and the speeds that go along with the temperature. So getting ready for New York City Marathon, I'll definitely have to kind of lock in where I am right now with my fitness and where my paces are going to be as I start to do, different intervals, 800s, 400s, mile repeats, and just for my long runs and tempo workouts. So we'll lock that in, and we'll have to, lock it in for the appropriate temperature and whatever it's going to be around here. This is the first time I've lived in this area outside of New York City, so we'll have to see and adjust from that. But we're lucky enough today. We got some tickets to Yankee games, so we're going to go see if we can do that. I'll probably just have to film with my phone if I can get any shots, but other than that, the run is done for today. Breakfast is done. We'll just relax a little bit, try and recover the legs, use the foam roller, and then we'll go see the Yankee game, and it'll probably end up being almost like midnight by the time the game ends. So we'll hope for no rain, but it could happen. That's it. Good run today. First long run of the official marathon training block. I'll talk more about the details of what I'm going to do for the marathon training, coming up tomorrow. Also with the full review and all my thoughts on the Brooks Aurora BL. Finally have 50 miles in that shoe. It's definitely an interesting shoe. I have some things that I think are very good about it, and also that just are not the greatest. Just having to do with that decoupled heel. I kind of talked about it in my initial thoughts, but I don't really know that it does much besides make it a very, very neutral shoe. Your foot does a lot of work in that shoe, so I'll talk more about that tomorrow and just break down a little bit of what I'm going to do for the training. So until then, gonna go relax and go to the game.